My name is Vlad. I'm a real estate agent with the Purple Tree Group. Today, I want to give you a few thoughts about how to generate leads in the crazy market that we had in and around Toronto in the past 3 to 4 months. In some pockets, real estate prices have gone up by 30 to 40% since the beginning of the year, and we're now on May 2nd, so that's quite an increase. In fact, this sort of thing is happening all over North America. It's not unique to Toronto or the greater Toronto area. What's interesting to me after being myself in this business for more than 6 years is that a lot of new agents or people that are just thinking about a career in real estate are thinking that once they get the license, the money will just start coming in. And in reality, it's a lot more difficult than that. Of course, a lot of them, even starting in the business, know about the staggering attrition rate that we have. Something to the tune of 87% in the first couple of years of starting. Most real estate agents fall off the wagon. They are no longer in the business. They know how difficult it is to obtain leads in the shifting market, because as simple as having a conversation with anybody who's been in the business for more than 2 or 3 years will give them an understanding of how tough this business is. But it doesn't deter people, so they go in. And if you're in this business, of course, you have to either substitute the income that you had or start growing the income that you were planning to have in this new adventure. And you need to know which business sources to go after. Unfortunately, traditional business sources in the market that's going up like it has been in Toronto, and we're talking about just listed, just sold, expireds, for sale by owners, etc. They are no longer bringing you the results that you would have been getting even 4 or 5 years ago. Normally, when you focus on the sphere, and this is the data that's coming from the Mike Ferry organization, the volume of business that's coming from your sphere as a lead source should be somewhere between 25 to 40%. If it's below 25%, you definitely need to be talking to your sphere more. If it's above 40%, that you're not, according to Mike Ferry, going after other lead sources in the most effective way. What I find, though, in Toronto specifically, and again, that is a very general statement. It covers both rural areas, areas with a population that is less dense than the city, and densely populated areas like Toronto, New York, Chicago, etc. So it cannot work with equal precision regardless of the geography or the type of demographic that you're surrounded by. So it's very important to take that into account. And when we're talking about Toronto, from experience, whenever the market shifts, we find that more than 50% of our business is coming from a single lead source, which is our sphere and the database. So going after that lead source is very important, and this is the first thing that I want to talk about. So sphere, it's actually very simple. And in fact, anybody who you talk to that talks about and does prospecting on a regular basis will tell you that the easiest way to start the morning is to talk to somebody who you know. Just gets the ball rolling. You have a conversation which is not confrontational well, most of the time. You talk to them as if you were talking to a friend, and in fact, in many cases, those people are your friends, your family, or your close colleagues, and you are talking to them about what you know, about what's happening in real estate. So it's easy to have those conversations. Now, when you're starting in the business for the first time, you most likely need to make money right away, and your time horizon is something like 30 to 60 days, but it doesn't work that fast with Sphere. It could work very fast with an expired or for sale by owner. They're ready to sell right now. They're already on the market or have just gone off the market, and you can engage them within a matter of a day or two. But when you're a new agent, you lack the skill necessarily to engage those types of leads. And secondly, and it's very important in the market, shifting market experience that we're experiencing right now, getting those leads, even with the skill level, the scale of 1 to 10, close to 10, is very, very hard. So going after a sphere is a sure bet. The only thing that is that it takes 6 to 9 months for you to develop that sphere so that it starts giving you leads. First of all, if you know 10 to 20 people, not everybody is ready to start making a move right now. And by the time they refer you somebody and you connect with them and you start the selling process, that's kind of the time frame that you need to expect to become productive within. So when you're going after a sphere, just remember that you will not see the result right away. And this has to be almost like a training program, a training regimen, or a diet that you're getting onto. Yes, of course, we want results tomorrow, preferably today, but they will turn up in about 3 to 6 months. So here we're talking about a time frame of 6 to 9 months just to be safe, and that's what you need to be accounting for when you're planning. In the changing market, the leads do not come your way as often as they would if the market were stable. It is not. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that every lead that comes your way is taken care of. You cannot take chances on losing any leads at all. And it's very important from that standpoint to use a CRM which will continually remind you what to do with every lead that makes it into the system. So the first step is, of course, to install and familiarize yourself with the CRM that you will be using. And we will link up information about the video where we talk about different CRMs that you can use in your business. Second thing, you have to enter your leads that are coming in into the CRM so that the CRM is aware that they're there, and you have to put them onto some sort of a program where the CRM reminds you about the next action steps you need to take, whether it's a phone call, a text message, or an email. So another thing that's very important is to call the lead back that's coming in within the first 5 minutes. And a lot of you have heard real estate pundits talking about the first 5 minutes, but you may not remember as to why this is important. What's interesting is the statistical information behind this. If you call the lead within the first 5 minutes, you're 21 times more likely to convert it than if you don't. And another interesting factor is that the lead is 10 times more likely to pick up the phone the first time you call within the first 5 minutes than any time afterwards. And remember, more than 70% of consumers that are talking to the agent selecting the first agent that they talk to. So beat everybody else to the punch, call your leads right away. It becomes very important in the market where you're trying not to lose any leads. And a third thing I wanted to cover in the short video is Facebook, which is a part of the social media set of platforms that you need to use as real estate agents. A lot of people getting into the business are thinking that social media is going to be a great substitute for all the other lead sources that they may have. Well, first of all, it takes time to develop your social media presence, just like with the sphere. Even if you have a great number of friends that are following you on Facebook, Instagram, it doesn't really matter where. The focus for this particular point is on Facebook. It takes time for them to shift what they think about you, understand that you're now in real estate, and start being engaged or becoming engaged with the content and with you specifically by giving you their own business and business of the people that they know and care about. So it takes time to develop, just as it takes time to develop your sphere. Don't be counting on quick results. Still consider the time frame of 6 to 9 months when you're working with social media. So for Facebook, even if you don't have as little as $10 a day to add to promoting your properties on Facebook, and it's well known that it's a pay-to-play platform, but it definitely extends beyond that. You can engage people organically, and there's a very simple tip for that. Whenever you encounter a new agent or a new potential lead or a client that shares their information with you, add them to your Facebook as a friend. And if they engage, they'll be looking at your content. You'll be automatically promoting whatever it is that you're promoting, even on your personal Facebook page, and those people will get to know you better. Alright guys, as promised, this was a short video consisting of just 3 points. The first one being about going after your sphere and how important that is in any business, especially in the market that's shifting. Second was about not losing any leads and using CRM in the most effective way. And the third one, of course, allocating enough time to develop your social media presence, especially on Facebook, and a little trick of how to get people more engaged on your Facebook timeline without having to pay. So guys, if you like the content, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll be very excited to engage with you in a conversation there. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week.